Hello YouTube and welcome to this new video on Zenless Zone Zero. On today's program we are going through Shiyu Defensive version 2.1. This time it will be the last time, as at the time of recording this video, version 2.2 has already arrived because yes, I am still late on making these videos. But I can still share my experience with you on this last Shiyu defense for the patch. The current buff for the 7th frontier is as follows. Electric and physical damage is increased by 20%, anomaly proficiency is increased by 40%, and when hitting the enemy with basic EX special or ultimate attack, damage dealt plus 20% and crit damage plus 40%. So once again, anomaly teams will be happy, particularly the characters who were on the banner when this Shiyu defense dropped, in other words, Alice and Yanagi. That being said, the second part of the buff is so generalist that pretty much any attacker can take advantage of this, so team building will be somewhat flexible. Speaking of team building, let's talk about the first half. We have the Sacrifice Heretic Jester and some miasma spawns. They are weak to electric and physical but resistant to ether. So I guess you could use a mono-physical team like Jane, Alice and Yuzuha, or even an Alice-Yanagi combo, which seems like the obvious choice given the weaknesses. Other electric agents could work, such as Soldier Zero or even Harumasa, but hold your horses as we have an electric weakness on the second half as well. So depending on how many characters you have, this could be a bit of an issue. For instance, in my case, I could have used Alice and Yanagi in this half, but Yanagi is my only electric agent build, so I decided it would be better to keep her for the second half. Instead, I went with my Evelyn team composed of Evelyn, Lighter and Astra with a Rocket Boo as their Bang Boo. This team is neutral on this half, it doesn't have the attribute advantage, nor does it have to fight against the resistance. As for the fight itself, you start with the 3 miasma spawns that you want to deal with as fast as possible, so you can focus on the Jester afterwards. One way to achieve that is to try and stun one of them with Lighter, so you can use an Evelyn chain attack without consuming burning tether points. Once the tiny mobs are done with, the rotation on Eve's team is always the same. EX special on Astra to put her into her singing mode, then build burning embers and turn them into burning tether points on Eve. When you get Lighter's morale up, use his whole basic to spend that morale and gain his ice and fire damage increase. Use his ultimate if you have it to continue dazing the enemy, and once stunned, consume Eve's burning tether points to unleash her chain attacks until the stun window is over, then rinse and repeat. The only thing noteworthy on the Jester is that at some point he will start flying and throwing blade attacks at you. Do pay attention to the color of the prompts because I believe he changes his attack pattern, or rather the number of attacks. In my case, he launched 3 dodgeable attacks and the 4th one had to be parried. Parrying this is quite important as it stops him in his tracks. He will come down from his flying state and just stand there for a few seconds before resuming his regular attacks. While all of this is happening, he will have his miasma shield up, which is why parrying becomes so important, as it will deplete the shield faster. Once it's depleted, the Jester will have a bunch of its daze gauge already filled up, so take advantage of that to stun him and repeat the Eve chain attacks as before. If you have Astra's ultimate up, use it during the stun window, as she will give basically a free chain attack for Eve. Now, I've been told by chat that some mad lads out there are able to get up to 6 or even 7 chain attacks from Evelyn during a stun window, while I barely manage to do half of that. Generally, I get 3 to 4 chain attacks, including her ultimate, which means that either I'm doing something terribly wrong or these guys are extremely talented. Honestly, could go either way, or maybe it's actually a little bit of both, but regardless of that, it still means that I have some room for improvement in my rotation and the overall handling of this team. And that is great because I love playing this team, but more importantly, it shows that despite my lack of skills, the team is still able to carry my sorry feathery behind into an S-rank clear. Oh yeah, and don't pay too much attention to my Evelyn's HP. I certainly wasn't, given the fact that I only noticed it while reviewing this recording during the editing process. Yes, my Evelyn almost died there. And with all of that being said, we completed this side in 2 minutes and 31 seconds, which is the perfect amount of time recommended, or almost. Now for the second half, we have the specialized assault bomber and a couple of patrol and demolition Jaegers. These guys are weak to electric, but resistant to fire, which is why I used my Evelyn team on the first half and kept Nagi for the second half. That being said, if you have some of the electric agents mentioned before, namely Soldier Zero or Harumasa, they would work without much of an issue, especially if you pair them with regular Ambi, Qingyi or Trigger as their stunners, though for your stunners you don't need to take advantage of the attribute weakness. Technically speaking, and as shown with the previous half, if your main DPS is strong enough, they don't even need to take advantage of the weakness. However, in my last Deadly Assault video, I used Eve against a fire-resistant enemy, but that worked because in Deadly Assault you want to focus on the boss's mechanic to earn your points. Here in Shiyu Defense, I don't think it would be recommended to use an agent to whom the boss is resistant. Anyway, for this half I'll go with the classic Miyabi Yuzuha Yanagi combo with Agent Gulliver as their Bangbu. As you saw earlier, I opened this fight with a Miyabi EX special in order to quickly gain her blue balls so that she can instantly use her hold basic to deal massive amounts of damage to all the grunts. Once they are dealt with, you can focus on the elite enemy, which has a bunch of dodgeable attacks that I did not dodge. Yeah, my poor Yuzuha took quite a few hits there. I believe I was trying to dodge, but after I took the first hit, I was staggered to the point of not being able to dodge the rest of his attacks. Thankfully, Yuzuha didn't die, but still, if you can dodge better than me, then it will be to your benefit. With this team, as usual, you can weave your characters in and out of the fight depending on what resources you have on them. When you don't have Miyabi's blue balls, you can use her EX special to restore 2 blue balls or her ultimate attack to restore 3 blue balls. You can also gain 1 more blue ball by triggering Frostburn Break once every 10 seconds. Another way to get Miyabi's blue balls is to use Yanagi's EX special or her ultimate attack, as both will trigger Disorder, and each instance of Disorder can give Miyabi 2 of her precious balls. As for Yuzuha, she will mostly remain off-field, as you will only bring her on-field to use her EX special or her ultimate to get more of her red balls. Cycle between these characters with the goal of getting Miyabi's blue balls to unleash her deadly hold basic, and you'll be fine. I use Nagi on the field more so than Miyabi because the enemy's weak to electric, and she can still give those blue balls to our tiny fox, so I figured it would work out, and it did as we cleared this half with almost a full minute to spare. Anyway, on to the build section of the video, and for that, I shall hide myself.
Good evening and welcome! I'm Bernice, and I'll be serving you today. What can I get for you? A drink? Some snacks? Oh, a little flames! Mocktails, mixers, eyes. The snacks are real nice. Sodas, sound mix dry. I'm lit, you can't deny. Wherever you want, wherever you need. So good you never, ever want to leave. Anything that you desire, set it on fire. I'll make you spend your days all away. That's my desire. You know I'm very good with lots to say. 3, 2, 1, fire! Furnace, 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 go, go! Furnace, 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 oh, a little flames! Furnace, 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 go, go! Furnace, 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 gonna watch it burn! I look kinda cute and nice and pleasant, but I got a short fuse for fools to get again. Watch out, let me pour you a drink, but think about messing with me, I'll enjoy the fun. So drink your drink, don't you run your mouth. Think about simplicity and things will go south. Wanna push you like the okay, burn you the ash, think twice before you play. I'll make you spend your days all away. That's my desire. You know I'm very good with lots to say. 3, 2, 1.
And that was my clear of Zenless Zone Zero's Shiyu Defense of patch 2.1 for the last time. This time, I promise. If you found this video enjoyable or helpful in any way, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it helps to keep the happy in Happy LTV. You can also leave a comment on how I could improve my runs or share how you cleared your Shiyu Defense. If you want more story-related content, I livestream on both Twitch and YouTube, every Wednesday, Thursday and Friday at 6 p.m. Central European Summer Time, and every Saturday at 4 p.m. Central European Summer Time. On that note, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video or the next live stream.